Hello and welcome to the Social Emotional Learning or SEL Implementation presentation. This presentation details SEL implementation in Fargo Public Schools as well as reviewing the SEL Instructional Resource Binder. As we look back historically, behavior management has consisted of trying to make kids behave. This approach has resulted in educators really becoming overly reliant on reactive procedures, which are not really effective in changing behavior. This also causes an increase in the intensity of emotions, dependence on role-bound authority, and an overdependence on punitive measures. Creating trauma-sensitive schools requires the implementation of a consistent district-wide social-emotional curriculum. Fargo Public Schools is working toward all of our buildings being trauma-sensitive. As educators, we need to place the same importance on SEL, or social-emotional learning, as we have on academics like math, science, and reading. We need to build children's coping skills, which means we must teach these skills just as we teach any other subject, and teach them routinely as a prevention strategy rather than an intervention strategy. North Dakota Century Code 15.1-19-02, parentheses 4B states, "The board shall ensure that the policies, procedures, and guidelines applicable to all elementary schools in the district are identical, that the policies, procedures, and guidelines applicable to all middle schools in the district are identical, and that the policies, procedures, and guidelines applicable to all high schools in the district are identical." In order to be in compliance with North Dakota Century Code, a goal was established through the Elementary Multi-Tiered System of Supports for Behavior, or MTSSB, Teacher Work Group and Leadership Team for MTSSB to establish systems and protocols for defining, teaching, and supporting appropriate student behaviors to create a positive school environment. A curriculum writing session occurred this summer dedicated to SEL curriculum. All elementary counselors were invited to be a part of this group, as well as grade level representatives from the buildings. The following materials are a result of that group's work. At the front of your SEL Instructional Resources binder, you will find a document entitled Creating a Second Step Account. This document walks you through how to set up a second step account. You will need to do this to access the second step curriculum materials. According to Century Code, all elementary schools must have identical behavioral expectations in all classrooms and common spaces. In order to be in compliance with Century Code, Fargo Public Schools, MTSSB Work Group, and elementary principals work to develop the Guidelines for Success, which are the elementary district-wide school behavioral expectations. Guidelines for Success posters will be provided to post in your classrooms and around the school. Building-specific expectations or guidelines may be posted beside the Guidelines for Success in the building. However, they may not alter the integrity of the Guidelines for Success. Additional Guidelines for Success posters can be ordered through the print shop. The next section in your binder shows the NDMTSS SEL Goals, which were created through a statewide effort to create Social and Emotional Learning, or SEL Goals, which are accessible by grade span, which is located in your binders, or competency, which is available on the employee portal. The NDMTSS SEL Goals provide North Dakota educators with a framework to guide quality explicit instruction of social and emotional learning skills to foster an engaging school climate for all students. The NDMTSS SEL goals are based on the CASEL, or Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning Wheel, made up of 5 core competency areas. The competency areas on the CASEL are self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. The developed learning goals provide reasonable expectations for what North Dakota students should know and be able to do by the end of each grade span. The goals are written in teacher language. The corresponding NDMTSS SEL scales are written in student-friendly language, like a learning target or I can statement. These can be used as a learning target in classroom instruction and for self-reflection. The SEL goals were used to create the Fargo Public Schools Crosswalk, which is the next section in the binder. Fargo Public Schools has adopted Second Step as the K-5 Social Emotional Learning, or SEL, curriculum that will be utilized for Tier 1 SEL instruction. Second Step is the curriculum that counselors selected through the curriculum review cycle several years ago as their curriculum. Counselors will continue to teach a minimum of 9 20 to 30-minute classroom whole group lessons in Second Step each year. The chart indicates the approximate months when the Second Step units are taught. Counselors at each building will be able to specifically indicate at which point in each month they will be transitioning to a new unit. Second Step SEL Tier 1 full implementation consists of teaching a minimum of 2 to 3 SEL lessons per week for 10 to 15 minutes per lesson. Lessons are aligned to the Counseling Whole Group Competency, Fargo Public Schools Guidelines for Success, and NDMTSS SEL Goals. Instruction of the lessons occurs during morning meeting or other class meeting time. All classroom teachers have access to Second Step online instructional resources for full implementation of Tier 1 by the 2020-2021 school year. Since social emotional learning, or SEL, is a skill that students need to acquire in order to be successful in their lives and access core content in school, the district is committed to providing additional resources to this endeavor. Counselors have already been utilizing the Second Step curriculum to provide SEL in the classroom. The FPS crosswalk is laid out in the same order the counselors work through the units, and the approximate time frame is provided in each section header. The crosswalk aligns the scope and sequence of Second Step with the NDMTSS learning goals and Fargo Public Schools Guidelines for Success. The crosswalk enables classroom teachers to expand the curriculum provided by counselors in their 9 classroom lessons. It provides the concepts, objectives, and goals that teachers will need to continue the lesson theme. The SEL binders for specialists include the crosswalk for each grade level, K-5. Counselors are utilizing Second Step curriculum to teach the main counseling lesson. To make these lessons meaningful and applicable for students, teachers need follow-up lessons to use in between counselor visits. Specialists looking for specific lessons will need to log into their Second Step account to print the necessary following through cards and the remainder of the resources discussed in this presentation. While selecting following through lessons that align with the main topic from the counselor is critical to building wide implementation and consistency, the crosswalk also provides the classroom teacher with the opportunity to recognize skills students may be demonstrating difficulty with in the classroom or other common space in order to revisit and reteach previously taught skills. The crosswalk is meant to be flexible and fluid to both support the ongoing large group lessons and intervene when lagging skills are demonstrated. The next section in the binder contains home links. This is an additional resource provided by Second Step that can be used during morning meetings, morning work, or it could be sent home to families. This also provides a summary of which Second Step concepts have been covered during guidance lessons. This can be used in whole group, small group, or individually. Home links are not intended to be copied and sent home following every lesson. Keep in mind, counselors may choose to include a home link as part of their guidance lesson. The Second Step book list is available on the Second Step website, www.secondstep.org. You can obtain a password from your counselor. In the Resources tab at secondstep.org, click Downloads, then click Books for Children. There is a book list for each grade level. These books can be used to supplement lessons. Talk to your media specialist about books located in your library or to locate books that your library doesn't have. The next section in the binder includes song lyrics to all Second Step grade level songs. The songs and music videos can be accessed on the Second Step website by creating an account and using the grade level access code provided by your building counselor. The songs and music videos help the students to learn Second Step language and reinforce concepts. They are suggested on some of the daily practice lessons on the following through cards. The mini posters cover the 4 main units at each grade level: skills for learning, empathy, emotion management, and problem solving. Every classroom teacher will receive an 8.5 by 11 copy of each of the Second Step mini posters specific to the grade level in their SEL binder. These should be hung in the classroom and referenced as appropriate. Counselors have larger posters that can be used around your school building. Additional 8.5 by 11 posters can be ordered through the print shop. For copyright reasons, these posters can only be printed on 8.5 by 11 size paper. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation. If you have questions on Second Step instruction and planning, please reach out to your building counselor. If you have questions on SEL implementation, please reach out to Jen Saar at 446-1028 or Kim Myers at 446-1075. Thank you again.